Alright cats, what's happening? Welcome to the man cave this morning. It's kind of cool. I had to get a fire started in the house this morning. I carried some of the dry wood in that I keep in the back of my truck. I got some more wood outside, but it's damp and wet. The temperature's dropped, it's been raining, so everything outside is muddy and wet. And it's nice to have a fire in the house to keep it a little cozy in there, you know. So anyway, the other day my grandson came over with his girlfriend and we pulled out the mini bike. And I said, you know, hey, you guys want to take a ride on the mini bike? So we started it up, warmed it up, and I took it for a little spin just to show him how it works. And my grandson, he got on it and he was a little intimidated. You know, he had never been on a motorcycle before or a mini bike. Now, I don't know what his experience it has ever been with riding a bicycle, but he appeared to be a little clumsy on this thing. And, you know, he took off. He was kind of swerving all over the place. And after a couple laps around the yard, he finally got it. And he had a big, broad smile on his face. He was enjoying himself. So then it came his girlfriend's turn, and she chickened out. She didn't want to ride on it. She was just worried that, you know, she would crash or something. She had this fear about riding. I've had, you know, other people that I know or people that have watched the videos that have a fear of motorcycles. They find them intimidating, scary, you know. One cat says, you know, hey, I have a lot of interest in riding, and my only thing holding me back is that I have this fear, you know, of getting on a motorcycle. I've never ridden one before, and I have this fear of it. I never related back to when you were a kid. Now, I would hope that all of us have had the experience of riding a bicycle. I know I sure did. Spent a lot of my youth on a bicycle, you know, dreaming that I was in a motorcycle gang, going down the road with 30 bikes following me and I was the leader. On my trusty old Huffy, you know, I had the high handlebars and the banana seat and the sissy bar that came up on the back and the whole shot. But the first time you get on a bicycle, you know, you're scared. You're really scared. You've never tried anything like that before, and it's a whole thing of balance, you know. And once you get up on two wheels, you know, you feel pretty shaky, and you're swerving all over the place. Training wheels help a little bit because you still have that feeling that you're going to tip over, though, even with the training wheels. So it doesn't take long, though. I know with my kids, when they started riding bicycles, within maybe the first 15, 20 minutes, they were over that fear and they were zooming up and down the sidewalk like it was nobody's business with big grins on their face and realized how much fun it is to ride a bicycle. And I think you can kind of relate the same thing to a motorcycle. Now, of course, riding a bicycle is the first step because you learn how to ride on two wheels and you learn the trust that, you know, you can get on two wheels and go without any problem of worrying about falling down. And the same thing with a motorcycle. It's almost identical because once you get in that saddle and take off, you're going to be fine. You're just going to keep it right down the road and it's not a problem. You know, there are those, though, that have that lack of confidence. And that can be a big issue, too, because you have to have some confidence in yourself to be able to ride. You know, you have to know that once you get moving on the thing, you're going to be okay. But there's others that just get on the thing and they start going down the road and then they panic. You know, like, oh my gosh, I'm going down the road, what do I do now? You know, and that's not going to help the situation at all. You have to have some confidence. Practice makes perfect. You know, I've told you guys when I grew up, spent a lot of time on the mini bikes, and that is huge in learning how to ride a larger motorcycle. Riding off-road on the trails, in the cornfield, around the yard, those kind of things give you critical experience in riding, because you're going to run into slippery things and bumps and hills and stopping and going. And that's good experience to help you to feel more confident once you get on the road. Now, when you're on the road, though, is there a reason to fear? Do I fear when I'm on the road? Not really. I do have a greater sense of my surroundings when I'm on the bike as to adverse to driving in the Silverado. When I'm in the Silverado, I can hit the radio button, or, play with the windshield wipers, or, talk to my wife. Yeah, I even adjust my seat or whatever as I'm going down the road without a problem. I feel very comfortable in the truck. On the bike, I have to be a lot more attentive to the road. I got to really be on the ball, on the alert, watching all around me. I got to know who's behind me, who's on the left, who's on the right, who's in front of me, who's stopping, who's going. Is there a dog running across the yard? Is there gravel on the road? I have to be 100% attentive. Does that make me fearful? No. I have a lot of confidence. I'm used to it. I've been riding for so long that those kind of things are a given. When I get on the bike, it's natural that I am attentive, that I am aware of everything around me. So I don't really have any fear. I would have to say that aside from a fear, there is a growing concern, a great concern, with people driving cars who are playing with their cell phones. When you're on a motorcycle, you're going to see it more than anything. I guess that's my biggest fear going out on the road. To see a car coming left to center and the person's head down like this while they're looking up every 30 seconds or so, and in the meantime, they're drifting clear over into your lane. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. I guess being that the motorcycle's smaller and it coming at, I've got headlights and they're bright too, but you're not seen like if you were driving this. They're going to see this out there peripheral quicker, the truck I'm talking about, than they're going to see this. So that's something to consider as far as being afraid of being out riding on the road. Now, what I would fear is riding on the back seat and letting somebody else drive the bike. I've done that, been there, done that, and I don't know if you're a motorcyclist, if you ride, you know what I'm talking about. When you get on the back seat and somebody else is behind the handlebars, it's a whole different story. Then you're worried. You're thinking, okay, does this guy know what he's doing? He's going into this corner a little too fast. And those kind of things, go through your head when you're a passenger. But when I'm behind the handlebars myself, I have full confidence. I don't have any fear. One thing that I see here a lot lately, and kids the first thing they want to do is go out and buy a sport bike. It seems to be the trend with kids. They don't want to go out and buy a Harley or a big cruiser or anything like that. They want a fast sport bike. Well, I guess when I look back in retrospect, I think of back when I was younger and I was, maybe in my early 20s. Yeah, I had that Kawasaki triple doing 125 miles an hour on the back road. Probably not the smartest thing, but as a kid, that was something that I had that need for speed. And I remember giving other people rides on the back, and I would do that. I would go like over 100 miles an hour just to give them that adrenaline. And, you know, they'd get off the bike and, oh my gosh, oh, that was crazy. You know, I'd be like, yeah, that was crazy. But I was young and dumb. And so I'm seeing these kids buy these sport bikes. And, you know, you've seen the sport bikes. Maybe you have one. I've ridden on them before, so I know what it's all about. It's a whole different feeling. And to me, it's not even a comfortable way to ride. You know, you have to lean forward, you're hunched over, the handlebars are more forward. They're designed for track racing, not for road riding, definitely not for cruising or touring. They're created for speed. And the reason the handlebars are forward and the position of the foot pegs and the seat and everything, so you're leaning forward, you're getting down to where you cut the wind. And that's the whole purpose of a sport bike. And so the other thing, these sport bikes are made for speed. And some of them are definitely made for power and speed. When you crack the throttle on a sport bike and you're not prepared, you can bring the front wheel up like right now. It's gonna pop right up off the ground just from the torque from taking off. And they're fast, very fast. I mean, you can go 0 to 60 in like 2 seconds. Boom, you're there. So these kids buy these sport bikes, and then they have the need for speed, and they end up dying because they don't realize just how dangerous that can be. At those high rates of speed, anything can happen. You know, I had a friend that was on his Kawasaki, high rate of speed, front wheel wobble. The front tire started doing this, and once it starts doing that, you can't stop it. You can grab them handlebars as hard as you can, but it won't stop that wobble, and it just gets to the point where he had to lay it down. The bike and him went out in the middle of the soybean field. Luckily, he wasn't seriously injured, but he had to go to the hospital and have the palms of his hands sewn back on. They have something out there to match anybody's taste. You know, they got the small Honda. I think it's called the Grom. It's got these. It's a little bigger than this mini bike, and it's really easy to ride. 125 cc's, I think. It'd be a great bike to learn on. And it's a street legal bike. You can ride it on the road. But they've got ones that are similar in size and shape that, you know, are easy training motorcycles. And you could build your confidence up before you graduate to a larger bike. Well, if you do have any inclination to ride and you've never been on a motorcycle before, fear is a good thing, but it shouldn't stop you from, you know, trying to ride a motorcycle either. I'd say I would encourage you to, like I said, start out little and move yourself up the ladder, and pretty soon you'll be a pro. Well, thanks for watching today. I don't know what I'm going to do today. It's drizzling rain outside, so I guess I'm going back in the house, find something to do. Maybe my wife will have a job for me in there. Well, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, cats, ride hard and die free.